Hi, my name is Jenna Monell, and this is my website based off of my research that I did about the effects of vegetarianism. This is the homepage. Here on the homepage lies an introduction about what vegetarianism is. It explains what a vegetarian diet may consist of and the different types of vegetarian diets that exist. It also goes into a little detail about what type of research was conducted. I focused on three disciplinary areas, which were scientific, political, and literature and philosophy investigations. Each area had its own focus, and each area has their own tab that goes into further depth about what research was conducted. Down here at the bottom is a link to the full research paper written by me down here. So the first disciplinary area was scientific investigation. In this research, I focused on the effects on the human body. During this research, I learned that people who are on a vegetarian diet tend to lose weight because they are not eating meat and they are not obtaining meat proteins. They also are a part of a diet that has less calories than meat eaters do, which contributes to the difference in weight. There are some downfalls to being a vegetarian, although there are health benefits. Some health effects are that vegetarians typically have low iron and low calcium, zinc, and vitamin B12. So it is needed to take those supplements in order to stay on a balanced diet. Vegetarianism is possible, but it is important to stay consistent, and it is all about being balanced and having a balanced diet. It is also important when transitioning to become a vegetarian to meet with a dietitian to clarify your plan on your diet and how you plan to include all aspects of a balanced meal and food. Further in depth of the scientific exploration, I focused on long term effects, and there weren't really that many studies done about long term effects that caused by vegetarian diet. I also looked into the relationship between physical performance and vegetarianism, and there wasn't much in that aspect either. But it is important for athletes who are vegetarians to create a diet that meets all of the nutritional needs in order for them to have good performance quality and to maintain their health. The second disciplinary area that I focused on was political investigation, and this focused on the cost of options for vegetarian diets. In this first section, I focused on grocery stores. I learned that in grocery stores, there are multiple options for vegetarians and non vegetarians, and that vegetarians typically spend less on groceries than meat eaters and meat consumers. In the second part of this area, I focused on restaurants and the options that restaurants provide and the cost for those meals. So, vegetarians do often have options to choose from at restaurants. Sometimes these meals and choices aren't 100% vegetarian, which can lead to upset customers. On the other hand, these meals aren't always advertised because restaurants are usually proud of their big meat meals and so on. Vegetarian meals and non-vegetarian meals often cost the same. There usually isn't a difference in price because it takes a lot of preparation to create vegetarian meals. In the third disciplinary area, I focused on literature and philosophy investigation, which was focused on environmental effects and motive. In this section, I covered that greenhouse gases are decreased when switching to vegetarian diet. There is less pollution in the rivers, and that vegetarian diets result in decrease in deforestation and destruction of wildlife habitats. There are also some negative effects that occur when switching to a vegetarian diet. Um, if the whole world switched to vegetarian diets, there would be no meat industries for people to work in. They would move to crop fields, along with the fact that meat is a big part in certain cultures of rituals and celebrations. So, ending meat consumption would ultimately lead to cultural damage. Aside from trying to fix climate change, there are other motives in becoming a vegetarian. Vegetarianism came from a Western culture and gained popularity over the years for many different reasons, such as becoming healthier, wanting to create a better environment, and focusing on improving animal rights. There are also psychological factors that may also determine whether or not somebody wants to change their diet. So, moving on to my synthesis, after collecting all of the research and looking at the different areas, I found that there's more positive effects than negative effects of being a vegetarian. Each disciplinary area revealed more about the effects of vegetarian diets. Between the three, it was overwhelmingly positive. So, looking at the different areas, you can put those together and realize their relationship and that they all impact each other and they work together. Here is a quick video about what would happen if everyone stopped eating meat. In the next section of the website is the conclusion. So, in this first paragraph, I talked about the benefits of being a vegetarian in the scientific aspect and the negatives. In the second part, I summed up my findings in the political area. And in this third paragraph, I summed up my findings in the literature and philosophy area of study. All of the different areas of research brought something new to consider when wondering whether or not it was worth becoming a vegetarian. There are multiple effects that can occur when someone switches their diet to vegetarian. So, these were just some conclusions, and with these conclusions and final thoughts, you can decide whether or not being a vegetarian is something worth. During this process, I learned a lot about digging deeper and asking more questions in different areas of studies. I had never thought about using a different lens to research a topic. Once I had my initial question, I was going to research. I thought of smaller questions, which then led to smaller questions and more questions, and so on. I am an elementary education major, so learning different areas to research kind of reminded me of how different students in a classroom learn and how you can teach students in multiple different ways. And the last section of the website is just the citations and bibliographies. So here is a list of all the sites that I used and the links to my videos. I hope you learn more about vegetarians and consider being a vegetarian or not. Thank you.